covered. Listeners and viewers, Bryant McFadden, Patrick Peterson coming to you live from the TCO Performance Center, home of the Minnesota Vikings. The Vikings just completed their 6th OTA practice.
Yep.
Pat P, man, how's the vibe? You know, what's the excitement like for this team right now with a lot of new faces and new places? You know, where is the excitement?
It's a lot of excitement, twirling around the building right now. You got a lot of coaches that come from winning programs that understand what winning, what it takes to win, what winning looks like, having a winning roster. So the excitement is through the roof. So as players, we feel that excitement, we feel that new juice. Now it's just up to us to go out there and execute the game plan to our full potential.
And talking about the game plan, currently you guys are installing, plays on both sides of the football, including special teams. But how does a Kevin O'Connell OTA practice feel different than Zimmer's practice?
Obviously, the way the offense is ran is different. We kind of did some of the same things that we did with Kevin, as far as having some with Coach Zimmer having some full speed drills. Maybe a drill here where we scale it back a little bit to keep our legs. Like I said, but the scheme is totally different. So. Having new coaches here, the energy is a little bit different versus having someone that's been here for, 8-10 years. It's kind of like, not going through the motions, but it's just the excitement is not the same. But now having new faces here, having some new juice, the excitement is a little bit different for sure.
And Kevin O'Connell is an offensive-minded coach, and watching practice today, just from my viewpoint, he's calling plays.
Yep.
He's standing on the sideline. He's calling plays into the helmet of the quarterbacks. For you, is there a difference? Because Zimmer was a defensive-minded coach.
Yeah, he called the plays for the defense.
Yeah, he called the plays for the defense. But now you guys are transitioning to an offensive-minded coach. How do you see – what's the benefits in that when it comes to maybe the offensive guys, now having an offensive-minded head coach compared to a defensive guy?
I don't know. It's a lot that can go into the difference between the different head coaches, if you're offensive-minded coach or defensive-minded coach. I really can't touch on that because the only thing I can think of is just offensive-minded coach. They want to score as many points as they can, and defensive-minded coaches, they don't want the other team to score many points. So they're more about controlling the clock, being more aggressive, imposing their will. With offensive-minded coach, they're more pass first, and let the run
scoring.
Exactly, let the run kind of trickle his way in there somehow.
Yeah. In our past episodes, you've addressed why the team fell short in some of the games in 2021.
Yep.
So far, the mentality of this ball club clearly is trying to finish, stronger than what you did in last year's season. What has been done to try to kind of address those woes that we saw surface so much a year ago?
Well, Mac, just being aware, being self-conscious and aware of situations that present themselves to us and understanding the moment, understanding what needs to happen for us to be successful in those periods. Not saying that we did not understand that and we didn't know what the moment meant. We have to understanding executing in 2-minute drills at the end of the game before the half. Those are pivotal moments in the game. So our antennas have to go extremely high now because those are where games are won and lost. And we got a prime example of that last year. So just being self-aware of where you are on the field, time on the clock, being able to know the assignment that you need, to execute at that given play, and being in a position to make a play. You can't be any my bads or I would have been there or I should have been there. It has to be execution or nothing.
Yeah, and we talked about Kevin O'Connell, his offensive ties. I feel like Kirk Cousins is set up to have a heck of a year.
Yeah, I believe so too.
And what are your thoughts about Kirk Cousins coming back, all the pieces he has around him, not to mention the continuity on the offensive side? What is the sky for Kirk Cousins?
I mean, the sky's the limit for Kirk. Just last year coming off the year he had last year, obviously.
Which was a pretty good year, even though the wins didn't follow.
No doubt about it.
He did some nice things.
I thought he had some elite type numbers, throughout the year. And like you said, the wins and losses don't don't show, what his numbers were in that year. But I just think now having a guy who, he got a little bit of familiarity with Kevin, being a one-year quarterback coach in Washington, and just having his offensive mind and seeing what he was able to do with Matthew Stafford, what he was able to do with Matthew Stafford over there in L.A., how he was able to turn that thing around. I think it'd be the kind of the same movie.
Yeah, and let's transition to the defense. You got a new defensive staff, defensive coaches, a new scheme. For the very first time, the Minnesota Vikings will be running at 3-4.
Yep.
You've been on the grass with the guys for 6 practices.
Yep.
You got some new additions.
Yep.
The big fish was Zadarius Smith.
Yep.
You get a chance to have Zadarius Smith and Daniil Hunter rushing as stand-up guys.
Yeah.
What will life be like for you in the secondary, knowing that you got 2 dynamic guys that are rushing standing up now?
Man, that's going to be special, man, because I never had the privilege to have 2 dynamic pass rushers coming off both edges. And, going through those 6 practices now, although we have we don't have any pads on right now, so the guys are getting, their first 2-step burst and kind of shutting it down then. But just seeing how fast that pocket collapse when we do have those team periods is magical to watch. And I'm happy to finally have an opportunity to experience some people, some dogs that can really put some heat on the quarterback to force the ball to come out early, to force in-error throws, to help me get some easier interceptions than I have had in the past.
And when you look at the growth of the defense, you got some new pieces to the puzzle.
Yep.
Your top 2 draft picks, Lewis Seen, first rounder, Booth, second rounder. How excited are you? We haven't seen a lot from Booth because he's still kind of nursing his injury.
Yep.
But Lewis Seen, watching him in shorts, man, he looks like he's a player.
Yeah, he's a baller.
And if you go back and look at his collegiate tape, he's a player.
Oh, yeah, he's a
player. He looks like the all-world team getting off the bus. You know what I mean? So what have you seen, strategically from him that kind of he has a bright future?
Yeah, man, just his knack for just wanting to be around the ball. Just wanting that contact, wanting that collision, wanting to be in that fire.
Oh, and, he wants that.
Yeah, he want all the action for sure. And you can just tell that he's still learning his way. But once it clicks, he's going to be a special one for sure.
Is there a year 2 guy or a year 3 guy that you believe could really have a huge year for the team this year? On either side of the ball.
Either side of the ball.
A guy that could really.
I think KJ Osborne will have a really good year this year.
He played well last year also.
Yeah, I think he'll have I honestly think he could be a 1,000-yard guy.
Ooh.
I think he could be a 1,000-yard guy.
So you mean to tell me it could have 3,000-yard receivers?
It's a possibility.
It's happened before.
It's a possibility.
The guy who I think might have a huge breakout year this year, Christian Darrisaw.
Okay.
Left tackle.
Yep.
Extremely talented guy. What people don't realize with Darrisaw, he played well last year.
Yeah.
He played really well last year. And I think with him being that mainstay on the left side, this could be a great year for Christian Darrisaw. Could be a Pro Bowl-like year. So let us know your thoughts for all you viewers, Viking fans. Which young player you think could have a huge breakout year for the upcoming team this season. For you as an individual, this is year 12.
Yeah.
How do you feel?
I feel great. Man. The body's still intact, holding on. Breaking clean. Don't feel slow or sluggish at any given point throughout my training sessions throughout the offseason. So I'm feeling great right now, man. Just rolling with the punches.
Is there anything you would like to do differently this year compared to a year ago? You dealt with some injuries and you dealt with some COVID issues, but as an individual, is there anything you want to do differently?
Man, no, not really. At the end of the day, just continue being the great teammate that I am, continue uplifting not only the young players but my teammates, and just being where I'm supposed to be on the football field. That's all that matters to me, being where I'm supposed to be so I can help this team win as many ball games that I can.
Well, what will make Pat Peterson the happiest he can be based on the season? Like, what will have you feeling like you just won a lottery for $300 million?
Super Bowl for sure.
Super Bowl.
Yeah, Super Bowl for sure. Because, all the individual accolades, that's cool. But, I received that throughout my NFL career.
Yeah.
So Super Bowl now is what I'm searching for.
So what will it take for you guys to get to point where the last ball game is in Glendale, Arizona?
First and foremost, having the whole team healthy.
Yeah.
Secondly, every man being accountable. And thirdly, executing the game plan, executing in situational football, being on your P's and Q's at all times, winning those road games.
Yeah.
That's what build confidence going into the playoffs. So I think if we can do those 3 or 4 or 5 things, I think we can be, right where we want to be at the end of the year.
Yeah, and take care of your business in the division.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Definitely do that. You got a shot because when you get into the tournament, anything can happen. Anything can happen. Before we let you go, Pat Peterson, to the fans that are tuning in, they love you, by the way. They were happy you came back. What do you have any message for the fans? Because week 1 is, you guys kicking down the doors out the gate.
Out the gate.
Green Bay.
Yeah.
At home.
Yeah.
That's already sold out. Can't even get a ticket.
Yes, sir. We want that action, boss.
Out the gate, starting out fresh. You looking for the smoke.
Action. Yeah, we want all the smoke, man, because, it's going to be a great game, to start off our season.
Yep.
There's a lot of expectations going into the seasons, and obviously we all know the bad blood between us two.
Yeah.
So it's just going to make that opening Sunday that much more interesting.
And also, too, you got a few guys that know the inside ins and outs.
Exactly.
You got
Sullivan
and Smith.
Z.
Yeah.
Yep. So
definitely can pick their brain.
Let's go.
No question. No question. Coming to you live, like I said, from TCO Performance Center. All things covered. We decided to bring the show on the road. Patrick Peterson, Bryant McFadden, thank you for tuning in. Until next time, see you when we see you.